So I like having a dash cam in my car because, well, while you're on the road, and I'm on the road a lot, you never know what you're going to see or whatever is going to happen on the road. And so I've ran a dash cam in my car for a number of years, and it's always better to be recording all the time and then trying to whip out your phone or something when something happens and it's already too late. So I've had a couple of different ones there that I've got off eBay or Amazon, and they've always been okay, but nothing ever great. And I've only ever had one that shoots out the front of the car, which not all the time that the action happens at the front of the car. So I came across the opportunity to get this new one here from GKU. This is their M12 Pro 12-inch 4K Wi-Fi mirror dash cam, and it also has a rear camera as well. So we're going to unbox this thing. It's got parking assistance, loop recording, HDR, Wi-Fi, 4K resolution. Not much else on the box, but let's dig into this thing. See if I can do this one-handed. I got the plastic off already. So that slides out of that box, and this looks like it folds up. Let's see what we got in here. So this would be our screen. It's a pretty decent size. A little piece of foam and a bunch of accessories. We got the GPS. I'm not sure what those are for yet. Our power adapter and our rear camera. Not sure what that's for. And some instructions and a warranty card. We'll probably look at this after. It's just another guy's opinion. I don't think it's going to be that complicated to set up. So I think the first thing I'm going to do here is try to get the screen out of this package. There we are. It's got a protective film on it, power, SD card, GPS plug, and I'm guessing that's for your rear camera, and some mounting clips and the front lens. I'm guessing that's a speaker and microphone possibly. So you got a few instructions on there. We have a button on the bottom, and okay, microphones are on the bottom, so I'm guessing that's just a speaker. Let's see how this fits in the car first off. So we're in the car now. We need to make this fit up there. And I'll probably actually take out the other camera first. Unplug that. And of course now it's going to turn on because I bumped it. But we'll take this guy off here. Try to. It's been on here for a while. So looking on the back of this thing, I see these are like hooks. So now I understand what these are. These will get looped around your existing mirror and hold it on that way. So I'm going to try to do that, and I don't think I can do it one-handed, so bear with me for a sec. Alright, we're up there. So basically you just need to loop those rubber bands around. And it's actually nice and solid on there. And you have two extra bands, I guess, if you ever break one or lose one, whatever. So I've got it shoved as far that way as possible, so the lens is basically just about touching the existing mirror. It is a little bit bigger than the existing mirror. I'm probably about 3/4 of an inch further this way, and it sticks over probably an inch or so further to the driver's side. So I'm hoping it's not too much in my view, but I think it's okay. I'll get used to it. It's bigger than the existing mirror. It'll just take a little time to get used to. So our next little thing to do here will be to get some power to it. And for all my previous cameras, basically I've just tucked the wire up behind the roof liner here. It's not too hard. You just kind of use your fingers and tuck it in, and same thing around the A-pillar trim. Pretty much any car you can do that. Just tuck it in behind the plastic. work your way down and down to your cigarette lighter. So I'm going to go about that, and then we'll work the rear camera to the back. And I should also note the reason I'm pulling this one out and changing it is because this is a mini USB. The other camera is a few years old and it's using the older standard, whereas this one is USB-C. So I have to change the cable. And this is what I mean, you can kind of tuck the cables in behind like the weather stripping and stuff. Make it nice and tidy. It's not that hard. Just follow the rubber down, tuck it in slowly. Of course, it's a lot easier taking it out. And I'll just reverse that to put the new one. Now, one of the great things about USB-C is it doesn't matter which way you put the cable. Say you wanted to have the cable this way, or if you wanted to have it this way, it doesn't matter. So just plug it in whichever way works best for you, and start tucking it up. So I got the cable all tucked around, up around inside the A column. And it comes down here at the bottom, and for now I've just got it loose down here, but eventually I'll use a couple zip ties and tuck it up underneath the glove box and plugged into my outlet there. And now I'm going to install the rear camera. Alright, so I'm in the back seat here trying to figure out where I want to install this. It's kind of hinged, so it will adjust for the various angles of different windows and cars, whatever. On the glass right here would be nice, but I don't really want to install it on the glass over top of the defroster circuits. And they give you some double-sided tape with this, so I think I'm going to try to stick it right here on the metal. And I think I'll still be able to adjust it nicely where it'll get a good view. And then I'll tuck my wire all around the edge here, just as I did on the front. So you get a little 3M double-sided adhesive package here with a couple screws if you want to use screws instead. I'm going to try just with the tape for now, and if it doesn't work, I'll put the screws in. Alright, so that's stuck on there with the two-sided tape, or double-sided tape, however you want to say it. So like I said, this thing hinges so you can adjust your height. And there are 2 screw holes in the back there if you wanted to screw it in, but I'm a little leery about that with the glass right there. I guess I could have installed it on this piece of plastic as well, but we're going to try it here for now, see what happens. Alright, so I've been tucking the wire in all along the weather stripping along the door here for the rear camera. And there's plenty left over for this little car. I think there's another 2-3 meters or 6-7 feet here. So if you have a fairly long vehicle, it should be no issue to reach. I didn't actually measure the length of the cable, but it's more than enough, so I'm going to have to tuck the extra up in behind the ceiling here and then bring it over to plug in to the camera. Alright, so I got the wire all tucked all the way around up to the camera. I've got about all the excesses up in here on the roof. It was a bit of a struggle to get it all in there because I had about 8 feet left over. But it came out nice. You don't see any wires except for where they come out right up there. And then I pulled the glove box out. It's pretty simple. You just pop it out and the power wire comes in behind. I threw a zip tie on there, comes out over to the 12 volt outlet. So I guess now we figure out the GPS portion of it. And when my glove box is closed, that's all you see, just this little bit of wire and the plug. The only thing I wish, my other camera had a USB port on the back of the plug, so it didn't, take up, if you want to charge your phone, you still have a plug available. This one does not, but I guess I could add a splitter or something here if I need to. Not a big deal. And for the rear camera, same thing. Wire comes up along the edge, and I left enough so that the hatch here can be all the way open without pulling on the wire too much. And it's going to kind of get pinched in the rubber seal when it closes, but I don't think it's going to be a big deal. If not, I'll figure something else out. It's kind of a little bit difficult on a hatchback because it needs to move, but I'll figure something out if that's a problem. Now, and the best part of any electronics install, oh yeah, that's the best part right there. Are you ready for this? Oops. Oh yeah, that's the good stuff. And I guess when this thing is powered off, it's just a regular mirror. Hi. And it's kind of like a shaded mirror on GM pickups. At nighttime, the mirror dims for headlights and stuff behind you, and it kind of reminds me of that. It's not quite as light as a regular mirror, but you can still see out of it perfectly fine. So the manual says to install the GPS onto the A-pillar. I'm guessing up there or something like that, or over on the other side. I'll probably do on the other side where it won't really be in my view. I'll just have it hanging in the corner there. Has double-sided tape on the back of it. I'll probably just try it first without taking the tape off and sticking it, just in case it doesn't work where I put it. But I'll try it. Okay, all 3 wires are in. I put a little zip tie on there just to keep things nice and neat. All the wires are tucked up and around in, and this guy's hanging out just right here. I'll see if it works first before I glue it on. I don't want to have to try to pull it off after the 3M double-sided tape there's stuck down, because that stuff usually comes off pretty hard. Guess the last thing to do is power it up. Oh yeah, I need to grab an SD card. It says it needs a 64 gig. That's what it says on here. 64 to 256 gig, class 10 or above. I'm not sure if I have a 64 gig spare. I know I've got a brand new 32. If I might have to get a 64, but I'm going to try the 32 and see if it works. Probably just won't get a lot of footage on it because of, feeding 2 cameras at the same time. We'll see. Alright, I got a brand new 32 gig SanDisk Ultra SD card, so that's a class 10 or better. We'll stick that guy up in there. That's the wrong way. Logo facing you, I guess. There, clicked. I guess the only thing left to do, I guess I'm gonna get the mirror part here adjusted first, so that it's comfortable for where I'm sitting from to see as a normal mirror. All right, let's turn the key on. See what happens. It works. Make sure that radio's off. Okay, so we need to format the SD card first. I'm not sure how we do this. I guess we go to the settings menu. Maybe somewhere in here. What do we got? Oh, it scrolls. There we go. Format. Confirm. It's a brand new card, but there we go. Okay. Okay, we're on 4K resolution. Not sure how well you can see that with the glare. There's a lot of settings in here. I'm going to have to go through. Yeah, there's Wi-Fi on this thing too, I guess, for connecting to your phone. Date, time, screensaver. I guess we show speed as well. Alright. Kind of neat. I'm going to have to study up on all this stuff. It's way more fancy than any other dash cam I've had before. Alright, so now we're back here on the main screen. It has started recording. Yes, I know my garage door needs to be replaced. The whole garage is getting renovated, so that's low priority. Anyways, point is, the camera works. So that's the front camera. And if you swipe, I think it was. Okay, now we swiped. It's hard to see because of the light, but that's the rear facing camera. And if we swipe again, come on, we get both cameras at the same time. So let's go for a little drive and see how it looks. Alright, let's go for a drive and try this thing out. I'm not sure how well I'm going to be able to film this. So I've got both cameras showing up right now on the camera, or on the screen. It's showing our mile per hour. Let me try to hold on a little better here. This is is on my private test track, obviously, because I wouldn't be using a cell phone on a public road. That would be highly illegal. But the camera quality seems really nice. It's supposed to be 4K. And yes, the 32 gig card did work. So actually it's 4K on the front camera and 2.5K on the rear camera, which is way better than not having a rear camera at all. Sorry, it's a little difficult to film and drive at the same time. And as you can see, spring has finally come to Quebec, Canada. Everything is getting squishy and gooey. But it's part of living here. Come to the end of the test track. So I guess the GPS does work where I've stuck it. It's just hanging there for now. So I can go ahead and stick that down. It does seem to be working fairly accurately. No issues at all. Now the screen is a lot brighter than it looks like on the camera. It's just the camera's kind of getting washed out on my phone because of how bright the sunlight is. But I can see the images on the screen nice and clear. I'm liking this much better than the old one. Now again, if we want to change our view, we can just slide. Okay, now we're just looking out the front camera. The front camera is also adjustable, I believe, for your angle. I haven't actually played around with that yet. I should probably, there. That's a little bit better. We're not looking up at the sky. And the rear camera is fairly good. I think I can stick with that. I like it. It's a really nice camera, way better than the cheap one I had before. I gotta play around with some more features, see what this Wi-Fi does. I'm guessing it's to download the video. I'll see. And here comes my dog. I ended up sticking the GPS module on the windshield there because it wouldn't stick to the plastic, and it seems to work perfectly fine, and it's not really in my view at all when I'm sitting in the driver's seat. So I figured out a lot of the stuff on the camera. Everything works really well. No issues. I don't think I'm going to get a lot of recording time on this 32 gig card, but I'll pick myself up a bigger card in the following days here, and should give me some more recording time. So I also downloaded the Android app for my phone, and I'm able to download a video. So I'm going to throw up a little comparison video here between the previous camera I had and this one. And I think you'll see the pretty significant difference in the video quality. I believe the other one was 1080p, so obviously 4K should be better, but 4K is, you know, it's a marketing term a lot of these days, and sometimes the truth is stretched a little bit, but this one seems to be pretty damn good. I'm happy with it. So overall, very nice camera. Install took me less than an hour. There's plenty of wire to run all the way to the back in this small hatchback, but even a full-size car or whatever, an SUV, plenty of wire, and simple plug into your cigarette lighter for power, or you can use the optional power adapter kit that plugs into your fuse box. I opted just for this because that works for me, and I'm happy with it, so 5 stars for me.